It's basics. Basics of the Bible. In the aspect of that with basics, you get to see and understand the Bible on a low level. On a low level. There's many different levels to the Bible. The Bible is water. Okay? The Bible is water. And this water, you're supposed to drink it and understand the different levels of it. But if you don't understand the depths of this water will drown you. And I've seen many people come to the scriptures down through time and have got drowned. You know, they went in too deep. They couldn't understand, and they didn't understand the basics. They didn't understand the foundation scriptures of the Bible. They didn't understand the Genesis then of the Bible. They didn't understand the Genesis. You know, and like everything, there is a Genesis in everything in life, and there's an end. There's an end, which is Revelation. So basically, like a table, I want to go in today and set the table. You know, and even people that consider themselves to be advanced in the Bible, I've seen that their table is missing legs, missing certain foundation legs that they're supposed to have all the time. Okay. So let's deal with that. First, let's understand, you know, and this conversation can go all over the place. Let's understand what happened to us, and then we're going to jump back to the basics, right? So to understand what happened to us, we turned from the Lord. So the reason why you see all these things happening now, black people voting for a white man, a white God, and all these different things and stuff like that, we turned from the Father. Basics. And when we turned from the Father cursed us. Okay, so everything that is happening to us, which is negative, is curses that is happening to us. Okay, so let's understand that first, right? We are the children of the Lord. Here we go with basics again. We are the children of the Lord. We was created by the Father to be his children. And when we didn't do what we were supposed to do, when we didn't do what we were supposed to do, so this could take up a whole class, right? So I just want to touch basics and build a foundation, right? So what happened? Let's go into the book of Samuel. Then we're going to go Isaiah, right? And let's go into Samuel first. Let's go to First Samuel, right? And let's see what happened. 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter, right? So we setting the foundation as to how we ended up in this condition and the basics of the Bible. And it shall come to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges. This is 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter. He's made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah, and they were judges in Beersheba. Okay, and his sons walked not in his ways, but turned. Okay, they turned aside after filthy lucre and took bribes. Right. So what is going on now? Basics once again. What is going on now? Our people take bribes. Okay, our people don't care about each other anymore. They take bribes. All our judges, all our leaders, they're bought and sold. That's what basically the Lord is showing you, how we can be easily bought and sold, which is going into Satan. But turned aside after filthy lucre and took bribes and perverted judgment. See that? So our people, our leaders are the same way. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came unto Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. See that? So we are in the same position right now, because we asked for a king, and we got a king. We got a king. We got Caesar, which is Trump. We got Caesar, which is Obama. We got Caesar, which is Reagan, which is Bush, which is Carter, which is all these different cats. We got Caesar. Okay? So this is what you got to understand. These are the things that we asked for, setting the basics. Okay? These are the things that we asked for, so we got it. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, you good?
Yeah, good.
All right. All right. That's what's up. Yeah, so basically what we're doing is, this class is the basics of the Bible and setting the table so that people can understand what happened, why it happened, and who we're dealing with, who you are in the Bible. Okay, so this is a basic class setting the table of the Bible. So we in 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter and the 5th verse. So setting the table, basics of the Bible, whatever's happening now with this U.S. government, which is controlled by white people, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, all these different characters, this is what you asked for. Okay? First Samuel, the 8th chapter and the 5th verse. So we said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge over us like all the nations. So we wanted a king. So we wanted a monarchical rule, which is rulership by men. We didn't want a theocracy, which is rulership by the Father. We didn't want rulership by God. We cast that off. We said, nah, we don't want that. Okay, setting the basics. But the thing displeased Samuel. And they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee. See that? We didn't reject Samuel. Who did we reject? The Lord said, They have rejected me. We rejected the Lord. See that? But they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. So now we didn't want the Most High. We asked for a man to rule over us. So now we got a man ruling over us, telling us whatever, stimulus packages, telling us to go to hell, that we live in shithole countries and all these different things. This is what you asked for. But they should have rejected me, that I should not reign over them, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of the house of Egypt, wherewith they have forsaken me, and have served other gods, so do they unto thee. So even now, amongst our people don't believe in the Lord. There's many people of the different tribes. One young lady came to me a couple of days ago, and she told me, we was having a conversation, and she told me she want to go back to the African gods and, start doing witchcraft and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you? What am I going to be upset about? If that's what you want to do you? Many of our people don't believe in God, in a God. You understand what I'm saying? Many of our people don't believe in a God, that there is a God. Then there's many of our people that believe that there are many different gods that are out there. These are the different things. So you got to have a good basic foundation of the Bible. See, so why should you have a good basic foundation of the Bible? Let's go to the book of Psalms. Isaiah 33. Why should you have a good basic, Isaiah 33 verse 6? Why should you have a good basic foundation of the Bible? It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You see that? Because this is unstable time. And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So this is unstable time. So you need that wisdom and that knowledge to understand what is going on, why it's going on. Okay, you can't be thinking of a place called heaven and hell that doesn't exist in the Bible when you already exist in hell. You already exist in hell. Okay, so let's come back to the Lord now. So now in Samuel, you rejected the Lord. Let's see what else you did. Let's go up into the book of Isaiah now. Let's go up into the book of, Jeremiah. Let's go up in the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. Let's see what else you did. Basics. Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter and the 13th verse. For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters. See that? So just like in Samuel, we forsook the Lord. See that? Water. Water is life. So if we don't want life, we chose death. Basics. For my people, Israel, have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns. So a cistern is a vase. So I'm going to use this as an example. It's got holes in it. So if I poured water in this or any liquid, it would come through. So whatever you're drinking, since these things are broken, you're not getting anything. Your knowledge is not getting anything. See that? Your knowledge is pouring right through. So you're pouring it in here and it's going right through the holes. Broken cisterns. So your knowledge, your philosophy, the things that you believe in, he's saying, yo, those are broken cisterns, man, that can hold no water. See that? So your table is already broken. Okay, your table is already broken. Let's see what David said now. So you see what happened. First, let's see what David said. Let's go up into the book of Romans. Let's go up into the book of Romans. Let's see what David said. Let's go to the book of Romans, the 11th chapter, and we're going to start at 47. It says, what then? Have Israel not obtained that which he seeketh for? But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. The rest of Israelites were blinded. See, basics. The majority of our people are blind to what is going on in the Bible and in the world. They're blind, even though they may be reading the Bible. According as it is written, the Lord hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David, a black man, King David, said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling blocks, and a recompense unto them. See that? So our table is what we believe in. That's what you eat your food off of. Just like all my books and my computers and everything is right here on the table. So now that table where I put my food, where we eat at, has become a snare unto us. Basics. It has become a snare unto us and a stumbling block. It's like a stone is right there. But because we can't see, we'll stumble over this philosophy and stumble over that philosophy. So we'll go in the Bible and read and think that angels came down and slept with women and had sex, right? You know, they'll see a verse and don't understand that the sons of God that is talking about in the Bible is not talking about angels. It's talking about the men that were the sons of God coming out of Adam's line. So people will misunderstand. Then people will misunderstand another verse that says, and the angels that were cast down from heaven. It's not talking about angels that were cast down from heaven like Satan and them. It's talking about Israel that was cast down from their lofty position, not understanding the basics of the Bible, not understanding the proper precepts. So men precept the Bible, but they go on the wrong precepts by the wrong teachers. Okay, by the wrong teachers. So here's what David said. David put another curse on us, right? And David said, let their table, whose table? Our table, Israel's table, be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto us. See that? Unto us, not to anybody else. And let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and that they bow down their back always. So this is David cursing us, his own people, because we were rebellious. So this is the first basic tenet that you must understand in the Bible, that we are a rebellious, hard-headed people. Okay, and by us being rebellious and being hard-headed, the Lord now cursed us with a curse of confusion. That's why we are confused to this very day. Okay, so the Lord cursed us to this very day. Let's go in the book of Daniel. Many curses are upon us. Okay, we are a cursed people. The Lord is going to take that off. Okay, but let's go in the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter and the 7th verse. It says, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces unto this day. So what does it mean, confusion of faces? Believing in false gods, false images, false religions, false philosophies, thinking that, you know, make America great is going to save us. That's the concept of looking to hope from the hills. The hills is governments, other nations. Those are called the hills, and governments on mountains and stuff like that. That's what it's called. Okay, the Lord said, you know, Israel, you know, your hope is not in these hills. You understand? It's not you climbing up a hill. It's talking about the hill being a mountain or a government, right? And they can't help you. They can't help you. He says, but unto us confusion of faces as to this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far, throughout all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. So we close in on this basic, right? So I want you to see that it's not one set of Israel that has done this. The Lord said all Israel has done this. So this is the condition that we in. Yea, all Israel, the 11th verse, yea, all Israel has transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us. See that? And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Lord, because we have sinned against him. So basics once again. The philosophies, ideologies, theories that we try to use in the Bible, Roman Catholicism, Protestant, Methodist, evangelical, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, you know, Pentecostal, whatever you want to, it's a curse. Basics, it's a curse. Okay, it is not of us. But because we turned our back from the Lord, okay, because we turned our back from the Lord, so when we turned our back from the Lord, what happened? Satan attacked. When we turned our back from the Lord, what happened? Satan attacked. Okay? So let's go to another basic, right? When we turned our back from the Lord, Satan attacked. Let's go up in the book of Revelation. Basics. Setting the table. Revelation 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. See that? So the devil and Satan is same names, which deceived the whole world. So how did he deceive the whole world? With philosophy, religion, concepts, theories, anything that is in opposition to the will of the Father through Christ. So when you read the scriptures and you go in the opposite direction, That's how you are being deceived. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. Okay, so how did he attack now? All you got to do is jump down to the 15th verse. And the serpent, the devil, cast out of his mouth water as a flood. So the water is not talking about water that you drink. It's talking about the mad philosophies that are out here. Okay, so there's thousands of different religions or what people think, which is in opposition to the word of the Lord. As flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. See that? So now people are out here drowning. Okay, people are out here drowning because they do not believe in the Bible anymore. They do not believe in the word of the Lord anymore. Okay, and then when they get into it, they get into it with theories. Okay, they get into it with concepts which are totally opposite or Christianity, different names and titles that they tag these things to. They get into it through Roman Catholicism. Even to this day, there are millions of people that still believe, black people, people of color, Puerto Ricans, Panamanians, Haitians, Dominicans, all the way down in North, Central, and South America, the islands, that still believe in Roman Catholicism, even to this day. So all that is what the devil has done. He's been on the attack. Okay? Let's look at the 13th to 12th and 13th verse. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens. Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse. And he says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. See that? We in the earth. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. See that? And when the dragon saw that he was cast out into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. So the woman represents Israel, basics. The woman represents Israel. The man-child is Christ. How do we know the woman represents Israel? Let's get a basic verse. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah so you can see that. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah. Let's drop back. Drop back, show you that the woman represents Israel. Jeremiah, the 6th chapter and the 2nd verse, right? He says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. See that? So the daughter of Zion represents, that's a terminology, a basic in the Bible, that represents the nation of Israel. So a lot of times when the Lord is speaking, he's speaking about us as a woman because he was married to the nation of Israel. He wasn't married to any other nation. Another basic. Let's stay in the book of Jeremiah, show you that he was married to us. We were his wife. Okay, Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter and the 14th verse. He says, turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you. So if the Lord is a man, what does a man do? He marries a woman. See that? He marries a woman. How do we know the Lord is a man? Let's go into that major basic now. Let's go drop back into the book of Exodus. So these are your foundation verses. Okay? These are your foundation verses. How do we know the Lord, this being? A lot of people have problems with that. Like I said, the woman that was speaking to me, she thinks that there are many different gods out there. So I asked her, well, where do they reside? She had no idea. So I said, well, how can you speak to me about that? Okay, you're telling me about gods and you don't even know. Let's go in the book of Exodus 15, verse 3. Okay, let's speak about the Lord now. Let's set up the basics, foundations of the Bible that you should know, lock down inside your head. Exodus 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. See that? This is his nature, and it's letting you know that he is a man. Okay, he's not a bisexual. Like I've had so many different conversations. Some people believe that the Lord is asexual. He's man and woman. I say, well, is that in the Bible? Now, we speaking about the Bible when they talk. So you wonder, where do they read and where do they, but these are people that are taking on demonic thoughts. Okay, they're not reading these things from out of the Bible, because the Lord, in Exodus 15 verse 3, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. These are the basics. This is the boss now. You need to understand the boss. Basic of your table to make your stable strong for your 4 legs that for you to stand on. This is why a lot of people don't understand the Bible. Okay, so this is Exodus 15 verse 3. The Lord is a man. That's the key point. He's not a woman. He's not some demon. The Lord is a man. Why do we need to understand that? Basics. Let's go to Genesis. Let's hold that in Exodus. Let's go to Genesis. Genesis, the 1st chapter and the 26th verse. And the Lord said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. See that? So he's not demonic. He's not demonic. So what is his image and his likeness? Let us. Okay? Let us. This is what the Lord said. So if we are made in his image, then obviously he looks like us in head, arms, legs. You understand? That's what an image is. You are the image of your father, or you the image of, if a woman says she's the image of her mother, she looks like her mother. Okay, but why did he say let us? Because it's talking about Christ also. It's talking about Christ also. Christ and all the angels was there. Christ was helping the Father make this. That's why the scripture says, let us. So who's the us? Basics. Basics. The Lord is a man of war. Okay, let's go up in the book of Hebrews. Let's go up in the book of Hebrews and see exactly what it's talking about. Hebrews, the 1st chapter. Okay. Hebrews, the 1st chapter, 1st verse. It says, the Lord, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. See that? Unto the fathers by the prophets. Having these last days spoken unto us by his Son. Okay? Whom he has appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So Christ and the angels was there with him, helping him make the worlds. He was the producer of the play. See that? He's the producer of the play. Now somebody got to put together the parts, the prop sets and everything. So he gave Christ and the angels the power to create all of that. That's why the Bible is called the Scriptures. Okay, because it's giving a part of everything that everything is going to play a part too, whether it's negative or positive. Who being the brightness of his glory, see that? So the Savior is the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person. So in the beginning, when you go back to Genesis, right, it tells you the Lord made man in his image. So Christ was a black man and the Lord is a black man. See, basics, you got to have that down in your head. That's your foundation. Okay. So when you go to Exodus, when you go back to Exodus now, we leave in Exodus 15 verse 3. So now who is this Lord that we dealing with? Who is this Lord that is a man of war? What is his name? We go into Exodus, the 3rd chapter and the 11th verse. Basics. What is the Lord's name? All these different names that men are giving him and so forth like that. Let's see what the Bible says. Exodus 3 verse 11. And Moses said unto the Lord, who am I? Now Moses was a black man. Basics. So you're probably saying, well, how do I know that Moses was a black man? Let's see. Simple. Let's stay in Exodus, the 2nd chapter. Let's prove that Moses was a black man. Okay, let's prove. Let's use the scriptures and let's use common sense. Exodus, the 2nd chapter and the 15th verse. Right? Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water of their troughs to water their flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, he said, how is it that they come home so soon? And they said, an Egyptian. See that? The Egyptians are black people. So these women said an Egyptian. So they mistook Moses. Moses looked like an Egyptian. So he wasn't a white man, because we know that the Egyptians, and I have books on that. I got to pull it up. Okay. Let me pull that up right quick. Got to change my books out. Give me a second. So I'm going to give y'all a book. I'm going to show y'all. This is why you have to study to show thyself approved. Okay. Know how to use books to show the proof of the Lord. Not to destroy the Bible, but to enhance the Bible. To further show the truth of the Bible. So here it says an Egyptian. Listen to what it says in the 19th verse, right? In the 19th verse, she says an Egyptian, right? So now the white man runs around and says that they were the people in the Bible that were in Egypt. So let's prove that they were not. So if they were the people of Egypt in Egypt, right, they would have to look like how the Egyptians look. So first we want to prove how the Egyptians look. Okay. So here I have a great book of philosophy, which is called the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is dealing with Egyptians. See that? Now the Egyptians came from Ham. Ham is the father of the dark races, the dark African races, right? So let's see. Let's go into their pictures. Let's go into their pictures and prove them wrong. They got some great pictures in here too, right? Look at the gods of Egypt. Look at the dark gods of Egypt. Look at the dark gods of Egypt. Where do you see white people at? Where do you see white people? Look at the dark gods of Egypt. Now, look at the Egyptian people. Look at the Egyptian people. Look at the Egyptian people. See, this is why you have to study. When you study the Bible, this is why you have to study. Okay? So, when the verse said an Egyptian, he passed for an Egyptian because he had on Egyptian clothes, but he was also black, a dark-skinned man. So they knew that he was not one of their people. They knew that he was looking like an Egyptian. So let's prove what the Egyptians look like. So showing you that Moses was a black man. See, these are basics. You must know the basics of color in the Bible. You must know the basics of color of the people that is in the Bible. Because who is in your mind when you're reading? Who is in your mind? What image are you drawing? An image of white people throughout the entire Bible? Then that eliminates all people of the world. Okay. They says an Egyptian came and also drew water enough for us and watered us to drink. Right? So let's drop down. Right? Let's show another verse. I'm going to come back. Right? Let's go to the 11th verse. Let's see the name of the Lord. Another basic that we must have. So now we know what Moses looked like. And I'm going to give you another verse showing you the color of Moses in the Bible in Exodus. Right? And Moses said unto the Lord, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? Right? So he's saying, man, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. And he said, certainly I shall be with thee. This is the Lord talking. And this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. And when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve the Lord upon this mountain. And Moses said unto the Father, behold, when I am come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the power of your fathers has sent me unto you, And they shall say unto me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? Basics. Basics once again. And the Lord said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. See that? That's the name of the Most High. So now you know that he is a man. His nature is a man of war. Okay? A man of war in dualities, in opposition, forces in conflict. He created those conflicts. Okay? And now you know his name, one of his names, biblical names. You know one of his names. So he created dualities. There is no other gods besides him. Okay? There is no other gods. Let's prove that he created dualities and so forth like that. Let's go to basics once again. So when you see things in opposition against each other, good against evil, positive against negative, sunshine and rain, the Lord created all that. Heaven and hell, the Lord created all that. Isaiah 45 verse 7. Basics once again, basics. Isaiah 45 verse 7. He says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. See that? He's the one that do all these things because he's the one that set up the duality. He's the one that set up the scale. He's the one that set up the scale where negative and positive in opposition against each other. Okay, he's the one that set that up. He's the one that set Christ up against Satan and his crew. That's why there's that battle there. That's why there's that tug. Okay, so let's get another basics. Let's get another basics. Let's come back and show you that Moses is black. The people, the writers of the scriptures are people of color. Okay. Once again, people need to understand the different tribes, the different writers of the tribes, what tribes they were on. Joshua, tribe of Ephraim. Okay. Tribe of Ephraim, another people of color. You understand? Using the term black, but people of brown complexion, because nation of Israel were people of color. Let's go to Exodus. Let's show Moses being a dark man once again. Basics. Exodus, the 4th chapter, and we're going to start the first verse. And Moses answered and said, behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto me, unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord have not appeared unto thee. So that right there just gave you the nature of our people. We doubt. We doubt. We don't believe. We doubt. So we need to see something. He already knew that we needed to see something. Okay. And the Lord said unto thee, what is that in thy hand? And he said, a rod. Okay. And he said, cast it into the ground. And he cast it into the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and cast it, and it became a rod in his hand, that they may believe that the Lord power of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob have appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom like, you know, I'm putting it into my shirt. Okay. So if I'm putting it into my shirt, that's my bosom. And he said, pull it out. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. See, so snow, the scriptures is calling white leprosy. See that? He's calling white leprosy. And he said, now put thine hand into thy bosom again. And when he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out, and behold, it had turned back as his other flesh. See? So when it turned white as snow, leprous as snow, it turned back, because this is leprosy. See that? Lack of melanin, what it really means, leprosy. See the palm of my hand? You see how red it is? This is melanin. Boom. This is melanin. Now look at the red in the palm of my hand. Look how pale that is. Boom. That's what happened. With the lack of blood, see how the red blood is rushing back? So as my hand got melanin right here, boom, and this is what's happening. Okay? So this is Moses now, of the tribe of Levi. Okay, of the priest tribe of Levi. That's what basics that we as a nation of Israel, okay, nobody's supposed to be a priest in this world but us. That's what we were created for. The nation of Israel. So white people, Chinese people, any nation, any man that you go to that is telling you that he's a priest is a liar, because that's not biblical. The nation of Israel was created by the Lord to be kings and priests, and that's what we're going to move back to being kings and priests in this world. That is our destiny. Basics of the Bible. Let's show that we were created to be kings and priests. Exodus 19, verse 5 and 6. We have a destiny. We have a destiny as a people. It may not look like that right now, but we are moving back to that. We are moving back into, the Lord is going to bring us back into that. We cannot go and take it. The Lord is the only power that can take down America and Europe, nuclear weapons. We need a more powerful force than nuclear weapons. So we could talk about it all day. But talking, when a fight goes down, you have to have more power than the person you running up on. Okay, so let's see what we were created for. Basics. Exodus 19, verse 5 and 6. Now therefore, this is Moses speaking unto us. Now therefore, if you will keep my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. See that? So another thing in the Bible, basics, a lot of people say, well, the Lord doesn't deal with, separatism, racism, all these different things. You're a liar. These people are liars. They're not reading the Bible. You shall be, this is the Lord talking to Israel through Moses. Moses is the mediator. He's bringing a testimony. That's why he's a testator. And his testimony, he's testifying to Israel what the Lord told him. That's why the Bible, what is called the Old Testament. The Old Testament, basics again, is what Moses brought down Mount Sinai. You shall be a peculiar people unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be a kingdom. The nation of Israel shall be a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. See, the entire nation was created to be priests to the world. So just like the white man through Roman Catholicism went around the world and said that he is the priest of God and that his Pope is the holy in-between, which is another lie. Okay, so that's what he's done. He's taken the Bible now, which was our book, and he's turned it for his uses. So basics, once again, as to getting your proper foundation, so that when you move through the Bible, you're not confused. You're not confused. Okay? You're not confused. There's the purpose of the nation of Israel. Let's get some more names of the Most High and what he does. Some people think that the Most High goes to sleep, that this being called God goes to sleep. Okay, this being called God is energy. He does not sleep. Okay? When in Genesis, when he finished creating, he didn't get tired. He wasn't, man, I gotta rest. I just expounded all this energy creating. That is a lie. How do we know that? Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah, the 40th chapter. Let's look and see. Isaiah, the 40th chapter, 27th and 28th verse. So let's get into it. Let's get into the scriptures. Let's look at the basics. Put the scriptures in your head. Go over these verses again. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest thou, O Israel? So there is two name changes. Jacob is the first name. The word Jacob means to supplant. Now, when Jacob wrestled, which is the father, Jacob is the father of the sons. And the sons, see, I'm just breaking it down. The sons' children became the tribes of Israel. Okay? How did Jacob get the name Israel? Because he wrestled with an angel. That's basic. You go back to Genesis, the 32nd chapter, and it'll clear that up. My way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my power. So the things that we do and say now, We think that the Lord doesn't see and our judgment is done. Okay, we here, we just going to live out our lives. No. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard? That the everlasting God, and see now he's going to give you more names to him, more titles. The everlasting power, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth. See that? So that's why I use those titles when I speak about him. Okay, I don't use his name because me and him is not on the same level. The creator of the ends of the earth fainted not. See that? Neither is weary. See that? Very clear. Why did it say neither is weary? Because people think that he goes to sleep. People think that he goes to sleep, that he gets tired. But why is it that he doesn't get tired? Because he is energy. He is energy. Okay, so let's see that. Let's go into the book of Daniel. Now, let's get another name for him. Basics. This is just a basic class, right? Let's go into the book of Daniel. Let's see the Father. Let's see the being that you're supposed to understand more than anything, because Christ speaks about him. Let's go in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, and let's start at the 9th verse. Let's see why it speaks about energy. And he says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Another name for the Most High, Ancient of Days. Why Ancient of Days? Because he created time. Ancient means old, days mean time, chronology, past, present, and what's coming in the future. But he was before all of that, okay? And the Ancient of Days did sit. So if he sat, because people use this verse right here. Let's go in the book of John. Let's hold the book of Daniel. Let's go in. People use this verse right here in the book of John, the 4th chapter, the Gospel of John 4, verse 24. This is the verse that people run to, okay? The Lord is a spirit. See that? And they, see that? The Lord, people run to this verse. New Testament people run to this verse automatically. The Lord is a spirit. Yes, I'm not in denial of that. I'm not in denial of that, because the spirit is energy. All spirit is energy. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So that's why you must study the Bible, so that if you're going to believe in him, you're going to worship him in spirit. You're going to have the proper spirit in you, and you're going to know the truth about him. See, I'm keeping it basic. You must know the truth about him. So this is dead on point. But now they use this to cancel out every other verse. Why? Daniel 7 verse 9. Now you're speaking about the Lord now. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. What is the thrones? The presidency of the United States. The Speaker of the United States. The Prime Minister of London. Putin. Gang leaders. CEOs of corporations, thrones. See that? OGs, big homies, all this crap. People that's leading, that got thrones, that are running something. Their thrones is going to be cast down, right? Nobody's going to be ruling when the angels and Christ step back. Nobody's going to rule nothing. So that's what it's talking about. And the Ancient of Days did sit. So there's another name for the Most High. So in Exodus, he told you, I am that I am. Whose garment, wait, this spirit had a garment. So if he had a garment on, obviously he had a body. So if you go back to Genesis, it says, let us make man in our image. So how did he look? Now he's going to give you, see, basics, how he looked. Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Bang. His throne was like the fiery flame. See that? So he don't sleep, because energy and the wheels, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands of angels ministered unto him, and 10 times 10 times 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. These is millions of angels. And the judgment was set, and the books were open. See that? So now, energy is coming from him. energy is coming from him because he is the God of energy. How do we know that? Basics. Let's go in the book of Hebrews. I'm going to close with these two last verses. So we're talking about the Most High. Okay, let's go up in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews, the 13th chapter. Hebrews, the 12th chapter and the 29th verse. For our God is a consuming fire. Fire doesn't get tired. All fire needs is more air and something to burn. And it will burn. It will burn. As long as fire's got air, it's going to burn. So look at it. For our God is a consuming fire. All right. Let's go into the book of Ezekiel. Let's look about our Lord. So basics. Let's go in the book of Ezekiel. Who is this? Who is this being? Daniel gave you one vision. He gave you how he looked. He had hair. Wait, a spirit got hair? See, they're lying to you. Basics. Let's go into the book of Ezekiel. Once again, basics. Let's go Ezekiel. Ezekiel, the first chapter. Right? So the whole first chapter of Ezekiel, basics, when you read the whole first chapter of Ezekiel, it's talking about the angels. But do they look with blonde, blue eyes and pale? See, it's basics once again. Nowhere in this chapter, these angels that you read about got golden hair, blonde, blue eyes. These are all lies. These are all religious lies. Okay? It's not even about mistruth. It is a lie. They read this stuff and they lied and they put it to look like themselves. But let's go to the 26th verse, 25th verse. And there was a noise above the a voice from the firmament that was above their heads, when they stood and had let down their wings. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. And the likeness of the throne was the likeness of the appearance of a man above upon it. Wait, God looks like a man, not a spirit. See that? They lying to you again. And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of a fire round about from within, from the appearance of his loins, even upward, and even from the appearance of his loins, even downward. Amber is brown, his loins, okay? And as I saw as it was the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about it. See, energy, once again. So energy doesn't sleep. Okay, for example, right? I got a fan on right here. As long as energy is going into that fan to make it spin, and the electrical connectors is working, it will never stop spinning. Unless it starts to break down over a period of time. But it will never. Why? Because it's dealing with energy. So only the parts will break down, but the electrical energy will keep going through. So if the parts break down, I got to replace it with new parts. Well, that's what the Lord is telling you. 28th verse. And as the appearance of a bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so is the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. See that? People are lying to you out there. Okay, saying that the Lord never had a shape, never had a form, that he was just a spirit. Okay, he is a man. He is a man of color. Okay, and that's biblical. Basics. His name is I am that I am. His name is the Ancient of Days. His name is the Creator, the Most High. Okay, and he has a son. This is Basics Part 1. Basics Part 1. I will close here. Peace.